Hey everyone, it's Rachelle Renee. And I know it's been a while. I took a bit of a break from this podcast for some time, and I've done a few episodes in the last few months off and on. So I wanted to first thank all of you who have been subscribed to this podcast for some time, and welcome all of you who are coming into this podcast now, joining me now, maybe for the first time. You're definitely in the right place. If you've hung around through my pause and this sort of rebrand, then you are absolute gold, and I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to you continuing on this journey with me. So, as I mentioned, I'm sort of doing a relaunch of what used to be called Faith, Fitness, Joy podcast. And we are doing a relaunch into this new podcast, which is called the Hormone Lie. And we're really honing in on why calories in, calories out is not working anymore as we enter our later 30s through 40s to early 50s. So this isn't really a fresh start. It's a real start. We're calling it the Hormone Lie because, yeah, that whole calories in, calories out thing is not it. It's only half the story. And honestly, it's kind of the easy half. So what do I mean when I say the hormone lie? What I mean by that is the lie that we are told that hormones don't really have anything to do with weight loss efforts. We are told that certain hormonal conditions or hormonal imbalances are not a factor that affect whether or not you are struggling to lose weight, or that are not affecting your weight loss or weight management efforts. So this includes a variety of things, but some examples would be insulin resistance, PCOS, Hashimoto's, thyroid related issues. As we start to enter perimenopause and menopause, and we start to see shifts in our hormones related to that ripples out to other hormones in our body. And then, of course, the big one, which is cortisol. And there's numerous other conditions that I'm probably not going to be able to list here in this one episode, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about. And as we get into our later 30s through our 40s and early 50s, you may find that the things that worked for you in the past, like eating more or eating less, moving more, cutting calories, or being on some sort of a diet where you're, watching what you're eating and you're tracking all your food, you're exercising intensely, exercising frequently, maybe daily, like I was for a long time. And none of that stuff is working anymore. And then you start looking for answers. Maybe you go to your healthcare practitioner, maybe you go to a fitness expert or something, and you're explaining, I'm doing all these things and I can't lose weight. And instead of getting any kind of help, we just hear the same thing. Well, you got to eat less and you've got to move more. You may even experience gaslighting, where you're told that you're not really eating as little as you think you are, that you're not tracking properly, or you're not being honest about what you're eating or what you're doing, and that you're sabotaging yourself by doing that, because it all comes down to calories in, calories out. But that's bullshit, especially after, 35 and going into your late 30s, 40s, 50s, where all those things don't work anymore. Maybe you're a woman like me who was able to lose and maintain weight for many years, and then we get to a certain age and all of a sudden that stuff's not working anymore. And that's because there are other things going on under the surface that calories in, calories out is not going to solve. Your body will start to resist at a certain point in time. And I'm starting to learn at this stage in my life that chronic stress, in addition to other factors like getting closer to perimenopause, start to sort of converge and affect your weight loss efforts. And you may find that it's harder to lose weight. You may find that you're, you're seeing weight creeping back on, even though you're doing all of the same things. And it's not that your body's broken. It's just, it's more complicated than simply tracking your calories and eating, 1,200 calories a day and exercising 1 to 2 hours a day. Hormones are a big part of this, sure, but we also need to consider things like your nervous system, your stress levels, and the way that your brain talks to itself. What is that inner dialogue? What is going on in your mind when you're stepping on the scale or looking in the mirror? All of these things matter, but we're told that it's all about, how many calories you're eating. And if you're not burning more than you're eating, then that's it and that's all. And you may be finding, like I am, that that's not true, because that you're tracking what you're eating. That you're working out consistently. That you're going in even harder when you're not seeing the results and you're still not getting anywhere. In fact, it might be even backfiring on you. So that is what we are honing in on in this podcast, which I've called the Hormone Lie. So that is the new name of this podcast. And we're not just talking about food and workouts in this podcast. We're talking about why stress keeps you stuck even when you're doing everything right, how your nervous system is quietly sabotaging your fat loss efforts, the mindset shifts that actually stick, not just the think positive sort of fluff that we hear, and the hormone stuff too. So things like PCOS, our thyroid, cortisol, perimenopause and menopause, insulin resistance, and all of these different things that many of us experience or run into, and how they complicate our weight loss efforts, and why it's not as simple as calories in, calories out when you are navigating having these conditions and looking for ways to reach your goals despite having those. How do you get your hormones back in balance? So the bottom line, you're not crazy. You're not failing. You're not lazy. It's not that you're not trying hard enough. You've just been sold a lie. And in this podcast, we're going to unpack that together. No pressure, no bullshit, no fluff. I'm learning as I go after having recently had a hormone panel done, because I finally got to the point where I was just fed up with doing the same things and trying harder and harder and not getting results, and finding that, either the weight wasn't budging or it would just keep creeping up no matter what I did. And so I finally decided, there must be something else going on and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And so I had a hormone panel done that was very insightful, and I've learned a lot about it. I've gotten some great suggestions and advice from a nurse practitioner that I've been working with around this. And as I go along and I'm learning and finding the things that are working and finding what's helping me with this whole getting my hormones back in balance, that is what I'm going to be sharing with you as we go along this journey together.